All right, we're going to go ahead and get started today. I'm super excited to have this interview introducing the partnership for the first time in Ohio with NVLSP and Lorain County Veteran Services. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
All right, so allow me to introduce Tom Herthal with NVLSP and Lou George. And we're going to just get started with, first of all, what NVLSP is and why it's so significant in this state. This is obviously an incredibly unique opportunity. It's taken a lot of work to get us here today. So we're going to take this and just celebrate the moment, first of all. Thank you for all the time that was put into this, because a lot of silent hours, which we're all getting good at around here. But why don't we start with, tell me a little bit about what NVLSP is and what your roles are when it comes to working with an organization like Lorain County Veteran Services.
Yeah, so NVLSP is a nonprofit veterans law firm. So we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we've been around since 1981. We started out working with Vietnam Veterans of America and doing discharge upgrades for Vietnam Veterans of America, and we have grown since that time. And as a nonprofit law firm, we do everything from appeals for veterans. We do a lot of training with partners, both state partners and county partners. We do discharge upgrades for veterans and other military personnel actions. And we also do a lot of what we consider to be impact litigation. Topics such as Agent Orange dioxin exposure for Vietnam veterans. That was the Niemer case, which brought the veteran community about $72 billion.
Wow.
I'm sorry, $7.2 billion.
Wow.
And as well as cases dealing with things like caregiver benefits and combat special pay, things along those lines.
And we also have done other projects over the years as well, in terms of broadening sort of the scope of the services that we've provided to the veteran and military community. So, for example, we have a program called Lawyers Serving Warriors, which provides free assistance for veterans in terms of seeking correction to their military record, for example, with respect to discharge upgrade, or, as Tom had mentioned earlier, combat-related special compensation and that involves veterans who are medically retired from the military, so they can receive additional compensation for those combat-related conditions. And in addition to that work that we do, we've also have a very robust litigation practice before the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims, which has exclusive jurisdiction over decisions from the Board of Veterans Appeals. So this is where a veteran who's gone through the VA system and has received a decision, not just from the VA regional office, but has gone up to the Board of Veterans Appeals in Washington and is seeking representation, then we provide free representation at the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims in Washington.
Well, I think we all like the word free, right?
That's perhaps the most important thing
Yes.
is as a nonprofit, all of the services that we provide veterans, all of our legal services, regardless of where on the spectrum that it falls, is at no cost for the veteran. So since 1981, NVLSP has represented thousands and thousands of veterans, and we have never charged a veteran even a dime.
I love this. I think there's a couple of really key things here that I'll just pull out to highlight. First of all, in my observation over the last few days, the key here is we're making it more comfortable for the veteran to know they really do have advocacy, right? It's not any man, I filed my claim and I don't have anything else if there was a denial, or, there are more layers to it, and they have a place to go to find comfort and solace in, maybe I need to look a little bit further. And you guys have a proven record of making it right. And it's not at a cost. There should be
Correct.
no cost to getting this type of help. And it starts at the Veteran Services here in Lorain County for the first time in the state of Ohio.
It does, and NVLSP, we partner with more than 35 states. We now partner with one county, Lorain County, and we've selected Lorain County because you all provide excellent service to your veterans already. What we are is certainly not going to be an organization that comes in to replace that. Instead, we want to be a force multiplier and work with you to provide some services and to provide some support that may not have already been there in place. So, for example, it may be something along the lines of doing assistance on appeals at a higher level, especially the the court like Lou discussed. And then to partner with Lorain County to make sure that the veterans here continue to receive the excellent support that they have been receiving.
That's awesome. I really love that. I think that, there is greatness in numbers, right? And when we can take the experience of the entire country or more than one state and then centralize it and bring it back to Ohio, we're just improving that experience for our veterans here, because obviously they went away together, they came back home, they dispersed again, and now all that experience is coming back to help them again. Okay, so I heard you at one point during this week, because we've spent a lot of time together over the last few days, mention that there's some components that the VA has used that maybe some of our veterans have had a negative experience with, that you that maybe has been adjudicated and you have some concerns about. Talk to me a little bit about this manual and how you know that our veterans here in Lorain County can get a better experience now that our officers have been better trained.
Well, Congress wants to take care of veterans. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And the laws that Congress have created are, for the most part, veteran friendly. Out of that, the VA creates regulations to implement those laws, and the regulations sometimes can be a little more VA friendly than they are veteran friendly.
Sure.
The VA then, and I think what you're getting to is the M21.1, the manual that the VA uses. The VA uses a manual to adjudicate claims, and oftentimes that manual is correct, and there are times that the manual is not correct, and they do that because it's an efficient way for them to adjudicate a lot of claims quickly. It doesn't mean that it's accurate all the time. The law changes constantly. The regulations can change, but more importantly, law also comes out of our courts and out of our boards, and those aren't always included in the M21. So what we're able to do, and what we're able to do with your team here in Lorain County, is when a veteran receives a decision and it just doesn't, it's not in the veteran's favor necessarily, we're able to take a look at that and determine where the VA may have made a mistake.
I love that. One of the things that we know about our veterans here in Lorain County is that if they have had they need an appeal, they're not sure, right? They don't want to be wrong. None of us want to be wrong. So I think this is a great opportunity for people who have maybe considered coming in. This is their key to say, hey, come back in, visit our service officers, revisit what you have. And maybe you've gotten older or something's going on that maybe would be different now. Or if you tried online, maybe you need an expert.
Yeah. And really, in terms of what the service officers, like for example, here in Lorain County, can do and working with us as well, working with NVLSP. One of the things that we do at NVLSP, and we do with our other partners as well, is we have a VSO liaison program, and so that's a program that I run along with a couple of other attorneys, very experienced attorneys, good practical background. And what we do is we provide assistance and guidance, and that's something that your excellent service officers can reach out and it's almost like a phone a friend. They can sort of consult, we can have a discussion about a case, and in terms of looking like, well, what's the best approach in this particular case? Maybe a case has been previously denied. Maybe this is a case where the veteran or survivor is coming into the office for the very first time, and you're looking for what's the best strategy, what's the best way to approach the case. Because even though, for example, a lot of what we've done over the years at NVLSP is litigation at the court level, impact litigation at the Court of Appeals for veterans claims, one of the key things that we always look at is making sure the veteran or survivor gets the benefits, the most benefits at the earliest possible time. Mm-hmm. So being able to get that initial decision to be the best decision, or even getting, having an appeal within the VA before going to the court is all the better. And if ultimately it does need to go up to the court, then we can provide assistance to do that as well.
I love it.
And some of the advice we'd give folks, I'm a retired judge advocate. I spent 24 years in the military, and so this is my community. And what I see far too often are veterans that don't come into their local offices, their veteran service offices, to seek benefits for a variety of reasons. One, they may not feel like they're entitled to benefits, or they may not understand how the process works, and it's very bureaucratic, and it can be confusing. So coming in, if you've never filed a claim for the VA or with the VA, coming in and just learning about what benefits might be available to you, whether it's education benefits, whether it's disability compensation, whether it is later on in life or afterlife burial benefits and health care that may be available to you, as well as benefits that might be available to your family. And if you're a veteran who has already been who has already filed a claim and been adjudicated, whether that adjudication went the way you wanted it to, or whether it went against the way you wanted it to, the VA does a good job, and they work hard, but they don't always get everything right. And also I would say that the laws change. And so coming in and what we used to call, or what we still call, a veterans benefits checkup, if you haven't done that in about the last 2 or 3 years, it's always a good idea to come in and determine whether you are entitled to benefits or whether you're entitled to more benefits. And for example, here a couple of years ago, Congress passed a very, very large bill, the PAC Act, which created a lot of presumptions that didn't exist already. It included a lot of disabilities that didn't exist already, and it was really targeted primarily to the post 9/11 veteran community, although there were some things in there for the Vietnam veterans community as well. If you haven't had the ability to sit down with a service officer since the PAC Act was passed, I would strongly encourage every veteran to come in and again, just learn about what might be available to you.
I think it was really interesting sitting through training with you guys over the last couple of days because, first of all, there's a lot of information. Most of the feedback was, wow, we didn't know that, right? That the laws change and the rulings. Yep, today in class, you're like, hey, by the way, that was the new one yesterday, right? And the traditional busy veteran or surviving spouse wouldn't be able to keep up with all of that. So, come in, spend some time with some other veterans. We're all veterans here, right? Spend some time in a community where you know and trust those people. Here at Lorain County, you can do that online. So LorainCountyVeteranServices.com, and you can schedule or you can call. Carla will answer the phone and you can talk to her and get your appointment set up. But we don't expect you to be up to speed on every ruling and every law or setup. So, come in and have a chat with one of these amazing service officers we have. Okay, so you both said to me that you have a list of things that is in it for the veteran, but what do you think is the least known benefit that you hear a veteran comes in and they weren't aware that they could take advantage of when it comes to working with a veteran service office or working with NVLSP? What do you think is the least known?
I would say dependent indemnity compensation for a veteran who maybe passes along as a result of a service-connected disability. Their spouse may be entitled to benefits beyond and after they're deceased. And oftentimes spouses don't understand that. And I can just give you one example.
Please.
We had a situation. We had a very, very recent widow come to one of our offices in Virginia, looking to get a flag to bury her husband with. The Army had sent her to a variety of locations, and she eventually ended up in our office in Virginia. Mm-hmm. And as our folks began to talk with her, we realized that the veteran was a Vietnam veteran, and he died of something that could be service-connected. And even though this particular veteran was not service-connected for his disabilities, more than likely we think that there was a way that we could connect that widow to veterans benefits. In fact, we did. And it meant a significant amount of money coming her way each month that she didn't realize that she was entitled to. Sure. All for coming by the office asking for a flag.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Oh, that one might give me goosebumps. That was a good one. Okay, awesome.
And I wanted just to pick up just in terms of what Tom had mentioned as well about death benefits, service-connected death benefits like that, DIC, because one of and what I think sometimes a misconception about, even if someone is aware of that benefit, they're of the belief of, the veteran had to have applied for service connection or applied for benefits during the veteran's lifetime. And that's not the case. So the fact that the veteran did not apply for benefits during their lifetime or wasn't receiving maybe at a high level is not, doesn't mean that they're not able to receive VA benefits. And the VA has an obligation as part of the VA's duty to assist, as it's called, to help develop the claim. So in addition to the assistance, from the Lorain County Veteran Service Officers, in addition, the VA is required to do such things like obtain a medical opinion and to be able to obtain evidence. So the mere fact that DIC wasn't granted, or rather that service connection wasn't granted for a benefit, during the veteran's lifetime doesn't mean that they're not able to get it. And oftentimes you hear cases such as the story that Tom mentioned, where the veteran walks in, rather the survivor walks in the door having not, the veteran never received benefits, and then is able to receive these really important service-connected death benefits that that provides entitlement to opens the door to other benefits, other benefits that might be available as well. That's the whole thing, because VA benefits can also open the door to other benefits such as state and local benefits, educational benefits for surviving children and dependents. So it opens up a lot of additional benefits.
Yeah, it's crazy. We see that. I think we see that one a lot. So for sure, if you don't want it for yourself, do it for the rest of your family.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're kind of winding down on our time here. So I want to give you both an opportunity to tell me what I missed. So what else do you think is important for the veterans, maybe not even from Lorain County, that are getting to see this, that would interact with their local county VSO or NVLSP maybe at some point, or just our veterans in general that are out there trying to do the best thing for getting service connected or getting their benefits?
Well, I'll just talk not as a lawyer, but as a veteran.
Yes, please.
Come into your local service officer. Talk to your service. Number one, it's free. There are benefits that you have earned. It's not a matter of coming out with your hand out for a handout. These are benefits that you've earned. It was all part of your compensation package while you were on active duty, and afterwards you've served your country. Let the community serve you. It's important. And when you come into the office, you're going to meet with somebody, and they're going to just have a conversation with you. Take a look at your service and explain what you may be entitled to, and then ultimately at the end of the day, it's up to the veteran whether they file for a claim or apply for any benefit. But coming in and sitting down and taking an hour out of the day is something that I think you'll find valuable, and again, it's at no cost.
Love that.
So, and I also want to encourage as well veterans and survivors to come in and ask those questions. Come in and talk about what benefits they might be available, because the laws they change all the time, especially in the past few years. There's been an additional amount of benefits that have come out, and really take advantage of the services that are being provided. Because even from being here for the past few days, the thing that I've been struck by with in Lorain County is even in this training for the past few days also is really the commitment, and really what you all have been doing. This is a calling in terms of representing veterans and really in serving those. I think that we were talking about serving those who've served, and so that is something that and it's something even in terms of NVLSP. I've been at NVLSP probably for more than 20 years, and close to 20 years, and it's something that I really feel that in terms of representing veterans and survivors, and this is coming from someone who's not a veteran himself. I'm not a veteran myself, but my dad was an Army veteran, and many family members who have served, and being able to serve those who've served our country and their family members is really it's a wonderful job, and it's something that I can feel here as well in Lorain County, and definitely encourage folks to come in and take advantage of these services, and these services are free services as well. So that's really important that these are services that are provided free of charge. That's something that that we all share in common, and even in terms of NVLSP, where if an individual ends up receiving benefits from our the services, all of that, any compensation benefits that come in, that all stays with that veteran or that survivor, that stays in the community, that stays in the state.
And I would also add just two distinct groups. Number one, for those veterans who might have less than an honorable discharge, come on in. There's lots of benefits still available. Let the experts take a look at your records and take a look at ways that they can help you. There are a variety of things that they can do for you. And the other group is my Vietnam veterans out there. Many of you have not filed a claim before or have not swung by the office, and you sit back and think, gosh, that was so many years ago. I probably can't file now, or I shouldn't file now. And that's just not the case. In fact, there's never a time limit on filing for benefits, and if you're out there and you haven't filed, if you're a Vietnam veteran, if you're a post 9/11 veteran, it doesn't matter. Come on into the office.
I love that. Gentlemen, I cannot say how impressed I am by everything that you've brought to this county. I know that the officers in this county and the director, the deputy director, we're so thankful to have you here. This partnership is just incredibly meaningful, both to this office and to the veterans that are being served and will be served, because I know it will be exponential growth. So we cannot be more thankful to you and to your team and all that will come of this partnership. Thank you for choosing us to be first. First is, always a good thing.
First is a good thing.
We're appreciative for that. So, okay.
As we are as well. We appreciate the partnership for sure.
Yes, we're so excited. There's so many more good things to come. It would take more than 20 minutes. So, all right, NVLSP.org. So NVLSP.org. We'll put it in the notes for the video if you'd like to do some more looking, and their just incredible work and the wins that they've had for prior veterans. Lorain County Veterans.com is where you will find the ability to schedule your appointments here with one of our service officers, or drop a comment here in these videos, and we'll take good care of you. All right, gentlemen, thank you for your service prior and today. And we'll see you guys all soon.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.